everybody, Moarhammer here, got another battle report for you, it's another good one. It's my Nurgle, as always, against another Khorne Bloodbound list. So it's exactly the same army as the previous game where I was just using the Glocken. So I'll just jump straight on into it. This is a picture of deployments. So on his side, as you can see, he's got his Khorne Bloodbound force, exactly the same as the last game, the Khorgorath, 20 Blood Reavers, the Chaos Lord, the Blood Stoker, the Blood Secretor, and the Blood Warriors, and the bloody blood. Then on my side, on the left, I've got some Nurglings, then a unit of Plague Bearers with a Herald and a Nurgle Sorcerer, then Orghotts Daemonspew. I used to use him loads in Fantasy. I'm really eager to try him out in Age of Sigmar. I haven't done it yet, so here's trying him out. Then a unit of 10 Chosen. Chaos Warriors aren't really doing it for me. Some guys suggested I tried Chosen, so I'm trying Chosen. Again, I've tried them before and they didn't do very well. If you recall them getting smashed in the face by some Kroxigor. So there you go. One last thing, so we are playing, in the last game I briefly mentioned a modified version of the Maelstrom of War objectives from 40k. We're trying that out again, so we've got 6 objectives on the board and we're drawing cards for which objective we have, just to test it out. So I finished deploying first, so I let him go first, because I kind of didn't want him getting a double turn on me, and I was hoping that I might be able to get the double turn and get some decent charges off before he gets to do anything. So he comes forward like this. His Khorgorath is on the left-hand side, and the bulk of his infantry is coming through the middle there, around that piece of terrain. So he's got his Blood Reavers, his 3 characters, and his Blood Warriors all there. He's got buffs on them. He's got Inspiring Presence on his Blood Reavers. And yeah, so he's just sticking it out there. But he's got no shooting within range, so we go straight into my turn, and I push stuff forward. I do cast, I'll use Fester and Rot. That's Orghotts' command ability on the Chosen, just in case, whatever, he got the next turn and then could charge or whatever, just so you might as well use it. And I also cast Mystic Shield on Orghotts. That gives him a 2-up save, which is pretty nice on a 14 wound beast. So that's pretty cool. But with no shooting that's in range, I've only got a 6-inch range weapon, we go straight into the initiative roll-off, and I win it, which is absolutely fantastic. So I charge forward again. Orghotts runs forward. He's in pretty decent charge range of quite a lot of stuff. My Chosen, hopefully, will be able to charge stuff as well. They're quite far in there, and with a lucky charge, my Plague Bearers could also get in. Equally, my Nurglings on the left-hand flank, I was planning on just putting them into the Khorgorath and hoping that they could just tie them up for a long time, because they're really difficult to get hold of, because of the whole, if you don't kill a base, they regenerate all the wounds in that base. So they actually have to do 4 wounds to them at a time. Otherwise, you do none, and that's pretty awesome. So in my shooting phase, my Orghotts Tongue Attack takes aim at the Bloodstoker and puts all but 1 wound on him. I think it's 4 wounds I put on him. So he's nearly dead now. He's only got 1 wound left, and that's pretty awesome. And then we go into the charges, and oh god! So with the objectives, we're counting them as having the same rules as terrain. So if you're within 3 inches of the objective, you have to roll like their terrain. And this one was the dangerous one, where if you charge or run on a dice, if you roll a 1, the model gets removed. And I rolled 2 1s for my 3 Nurglings, which sucked balls. So anyway, the 1 Nurgling goes into the Khorgorath. I'm not too hopeful that he's going to hold him up for long, but you never know. He might fluff his attacks. Then Orghotts over here piles into the Blood Reavers, and that's pretty awesome. I'm quite happy with that. Unfortunately, the rest of my charges do fail. My Chosen roll like a double 1, and my Plague Bearers just roll like 4 or something, so not very good. But at least I got 1 thing in there, so that's taking a little bit of advantage of the double turn. So see, I go first with Orghotts, and I don't do that well, actually. I only killed 2 or 3, maybe 4 Blood Reavers. I wasn't that impressed with how hacky he is. He's only got 1 damage and rend 1 and 3s and 3s to hit and wound. So it's, he's not as good as you might have thought. But he has got quite a nice attack. If you miss with up to half his attacks, you get another d6 attacks, which is quite nice. I did get to benefit from that, but I rolled a 1 for the d6, so Yeah, so he doesn't do anything to me back, obviously, because I've got 2-up save. So we go into this combat, and my Nurgling's able to put a wound through on the Khorgorath. Yeah! And he's able to put 2 wounds back, but it's irrelevant because I will regenerate those wounds in a minute. So we go straight to his turn. I didn't take an overall shot because there's not exactly a whole lot going on. But this is him at the end of the charge phase. His Blood Warriors charge into my Chosen, and his Chaos Lord charges into the back of Orghotts. Again, he's got that reality splitting axe, so this is possibly quite dangerous for me. So in combat, his Lord goes first, so he wants to get that reality split off. Hacks 1 wound, manages to put 1 wound through on Orghotts. I fail my save, and he puts 3 wounds on me. So at the end of the phase, we'll get that reality split. So I go over here next to my Chosen, and holy shit! They easily kill all of these Blood Warriors with many wounds to spare. I do lose 1 Chosen back because of even when he dies, he gets to attack with these guys, which is a pretty awesome rule. But it didn't help him too much. He just gets hacked apart, and that's pretty awesome. I'm quite happy about that. And then over here, his Blood Warriors all pile around and attack Orghotts, so they are not able to do anything to him, though. Over here, my Nurglings... my Nurglings don't do anything to him, and his Khorgorath kills me back, which is sad. Meanwhile, we go back to here, so that's all the combat's over. So we do the reality splitting thing. And... cheeky fucker. Yeah, he does it again. Rolls a 5 up. Orghotts goes pop. No more general. No more command ability. No more slightly mediocre combat ability. That's... oh, god damn it. Oh well, never mind. So yeah, Orghotts goes away. He dies like a sack of shit. He does get a couple of wounds through before... I forgot to say, before I rolled this, he does put 3 wounds through on the Chaos Lord. He attacked him with Orghotts. So yeah, there's that. So that's sad. But anyway, the one advantage of this is that his Lord is technically in combat with my Chosen, so he can't exactly go anywhere. And I'm hoping that my Chosen, seeing as apparently they're awesome, are going to hack him apart. So we go into the initiative roll-off again, and this time he gets it. So, oof, rough. So the first thing he does, he piles in his Blood Reavers straight into the Plague Bearers. He doesn't really bother with anything else in terms of command. Like, there's no shooting, there's no, none of that crap. He just goes straight into combat. So here we go, Blood Reavers straight into the Plague Bearers. Khorgorath piles in behind them to get ready to hack them apart. So without anything else really to do, we go into the combat phase, and his Chaos Lord goes first. He's able to hack 1 Chosen apart and put a wound on another. We do roll for the reality split later, and I'll let you know now. He does roll the 5+ again, so that wounded Chosen does get sucked into nothingness. However, I go here next with my Plague Bearers. They all pile in, and I start hacking away. I don't do too badly. I kill 5, maybe 4 or 5 Blood Reavers and put 2 wounds onto the Khorgorath, so not terrible. And they're pretty good positions. So when he attacks back, he doesn't do very well. He maybe kills 1 or 2 Plague Bearers. Yeah, he really rolls poorly, and I roll really well on my saves, so that's pretty awesome. Then we go over here, and my Chosen annihilate the Lord, which I'm pretty happy about, as you might expect. That Lord's dead, got murdered by angry Chosen who just watched their general go down. So happy about that. Then we go over here with this Khorgorath, and this Khorgorath does pretty well actually. He does hack apart 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 Plague Bearers, which is pretty nasty, and then obviously gets a wound back because that's what he does. So we go into my turn. And my Chosen up, and there's his Blood Secretor and Blood Stoker up there. I'm going to go and hack them apart. And then I summon a Demon Prince. You can see him on the bottom left-hand side there. That's pretty much the only place I can put him. 12 inches within 12 inches of my Sorcerer and out of 9 inches of an enemy. So he's there, he's 9 inches away from the Khorgorath. I was hoping for a long charge there and smash in there and rip him to pieces. Because my Plague Bearers just aren't really going to cut it that well against that thing. So the Blood Warriors are in combat with there. I also move my Herald and my Sorcerer up there. Just going to get some charges in on that unit. Maybe get a little extra boost of wounds. So I'm hoping that with my Chosen, hopefully they'll get into the Blood Stoker, who's planted his banner. If I kill him, the Blood Reavers are no longer immune to battle shock. So that's the plan. In combats, my Herald and my Sorcerer charge in here. Those 2 blue tokens, by the way, they are representative of a wound each, so or +1 wound each, should I say. So every time a Nurgle Sorcerer casts a spell on a 4+, he gets an extra wound. If he heals a wound, but if he's got full wounds, he gets an extra wound, and that's pretty awesome. So that guy's now sporting 8 wounds. Yay! And then my Herald goes into the back as well. Over here, my Chosen get a really long charge. They smash into both the Bloodstoker and the Bloodsecrator. So they're going to have a field day there. And obviously that's the one I want to do first. I start off attacking the Bloodstoker and obliterate him. Then I end up attacking the Bloodsecrator and obliterate him as well. Holy shit, Chosen are awesome! Yeah, I think I might have had the advantage in this game from the start, to be honest, with 10 Chosen. They could have done the job by themselves, it seems. Then we go over here, and he attacks with his Blood Reavers, and he does pull down a couple, not too many, but that's how it is. 3, I think. Then when I attack back, I kill a couple, not many, and equally his So nothing else really happens. His Khorgorath fluffs, I fluff. So yeah, we stay in combat. And we go to the initiative roll-off, and I win it. Yeah! There's been a back-and-forth game this time. So my Chosen run down. They're going to hopefully hit the Blood Reavers and finish them off. And my Demon Prince runs up. He's 3 inches away from the Khorgorath, so it should be an easy charge. And he should be a pretty good matchup for him. So happy about that. So we go into the combat phase. The Demon Prince, lo and behold, hits the Khorgorath, and the Chosen just make it into the Blood Reavers. I think that the only reason they made it in was the half-inch rule, so they only have to be within half an inch of the Blood Reaver to make it in, so that was pretty awesome. But I'll take it. I cast the Arcane Bolt, that's the one, Arcane Bolt, at the Khorgorath to hopefully do an extra wound. I do get the extra wound on the Sorcerer, but I think I only roll a 1 for the wound, so I do plink a wound off the Khorgorath, and that's great. So in the combat phase, my Demon Prince starts, because I want him to try and do in the Khorgorath. And I'm able to put 3 wounds on him, so not great. I don't roll particularly well, but it's nearly dead now. I've only got 3 wounds left, I think. And then he attacks back with his Blood Reavers, and doesn't do too badly. It actually kills a handful of Plague Bearers, so I'm losing my numbers fast. And then my Chosen attack, and holy shit, they obliterate a bunch of Blood Reavers. 7 or 8 Blood Reavers die from the 3 or 4 Chosen that could attack. So that's pretty awesome. Then when I come to strike my Plague Bearers, I obliterate the rest of them. There's nothing left. So yeah, we go into his turn, and all he's got left on the board is that Khorgorath, and he's stuck in combat. So when he comes to his combat phase, he attacks the Plague Bearers first, hoping his idea was that it's easier to kill a Plague Bearer, therefore more likely to get a wound back there. He does, I think, kill a Plague Bearer and does get a wound back, but it doesn't matter. The Demon Prince lays the smack down with his scythe and jams it right through his forehead, and the little shit dies. That's great. So there you have it. There's the end of the game. A pretty good victory for the Nurgle, despite losing Orghotts. I do appreciate this game may have been a bit one-sided from the start because of the Chosen. I didn't realise how good they would be now that I've actually used them properly. And also then I summoned a Demon Prince, which is obviously always going to be good. Nevertheless, we both enjoyed the game. Really great opponents, really great game, and I'm looking forward to many more to follow. So, thank you very much for watching. Please leave any feedback you have. If you'd like to see something specifically, I can try to get that done or in. Leave any feedback. Subscribe to me, like the video, or follow me on Twitter at @morewargames, and there will be plenty more to follow. More to follow. Get it? Get it? Yeah, you get it. Alright, cheers guys. Take care.